Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're making fudge here on the homestead. Tina's gonna make about 6 different kinds to give away at Christmas. If you hang around till after the break, I'll show you how she did it. Alright guys, like I said, today Tina's going to be making fudge. We're going to make about 6 different kinds, but all of it is based off of one basic recipe, and I'm going to show you that. She's going to break out her recipe card, so I'll share that with you. If you guys like to take screenshots, get ready to do that. I'll show you the front and back of the cards, but she's going to make 6 different variations of the same fudge, and there'll be different flavors from toffee to mint to plain to walnuts to, you'll just have to see. But we're going to go ahead and roll with that footage. We're going to make the base of the fudge once, and then we'll show you the end process for all 6 batches. So hang on, we'll get right to that footage. Alright guys, Tina's getting ready to get started on this fudge. Looks like she's going to be making several different kinds. I see mint and some Reese's and some Heath Toffee chips, and well, you just never know. So we're going to slide over here. She's got a bunch of her stuff already laid out. We'll take a look at the base recipe here, which is, I'll try to get you a screenshot of it. 7 ounces of marshmallow cream, 1.5 cups of sugar, 2/3 cup evaporated milk, a half a stick of butter, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 cups of milk chocolate chips, 1 cup of semi-sweet chips, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Now, I see some walnuts there. That's the variation. That's one of the kinds she's making, but if you stick to that basic recipe minus the walnuts, everything else will kind of branch out from there. So some kinds will leave some of the chocolate chips out and substitute peanut butter chips or toffee chips or mint or any number of other things, but that's the base recipe. I'll bring you back when she gets started and I'll show you a little bit about what she's doing. Okay guys, Tina's getting ready to get started, and I read you the basic recipe off the front of the card, but I didn't show you the back of the card. A lot of people like screenshotting them from what we've heard, so there you can get you a screenshot of how to put it together, but we'll also be, that's what we're going to be filming here. So there's the screenshot of the back of the recipe card for those guys that follow along with that, and I'll pick back up when Tina gets started on this. Alright guys, get ready to start mixing up our first basic batch. Tina's went ahead and got their 2/3 cups of evaporated milk. Let's see, that'll be 1.5 cups of sugar she's putting in there now. What we got? Looks like a half a stick of butter getting ready to go in. Got a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and the 7 ounces of marshmallow cream. Is that jug a 7-ounce jug? Yeah. Okay, that whole jug there is some whole 7 ounces of marshmallow cream. That looks like most of the ingredients there, except for the chips and the vanilla, which will go in later in the process. But what are we doing now? We're just going to get this melted down and hot?
Yeah, it's going to come to a boil. Get
it melted down and bring it to a boil. So we'll go ahead and get to that point, and then I'll bring you back and show you what she's doing next. Alright guys, we've got the marshmallow and butter and evaporated milk mixture up to a boil. And once you get it up to a boil, we set a timer for 5 minutes. We're going to hold that low boil for 5 minutes, and then we're going to add our vanilla and chocolate chips, right?
Yep.
And then what do? We'll bring that to, we'll go ahead and melt that then?
Yeah. You take it off the heat and then mix the chocolate in.
Take it off the heat, mix the chocolate and the vanilla in. Does it go back on the heat then?
Nope.
Nope. After they're mixed in and melted, it'll go in the 9x13, looks like, a pan lined with foil. So we'll bring you back as the process moves along, but right now we got to hold this for 5 minutes, and then we'll be getting over there to the chocolate chips and vanilla, and moving on with the process. All right, guys, we're coming up on our 5-minute timer. Tina shut the burner off up there. We got about 5 seconds. That beep in the background was our 5-minute timer, so we're gonna roll over here. We'll get all the chocolate chips in here pretty quick so we can get them in while the other stuff's still hot and get them mixed in. Tina says that the vanilla goes in absolutely last, so the first trick's gonna be to get these chocolate chips melted into the marshmallows. And like I said, this doesn't go back on the heat after this, so we're just working with what heat we had in the pan. Tina's made this, we were just talking and laughing, she's made this fudge probably every year for the last 30 years or so. So it's one of the things we send out to friends and family, and they seem to really enjoy it. And it's gotten a few twists to the recipe over the years, but it's basically the same base recipe we've always used. So we'll go ahead and get this mixed up. This is just the plain chocolate one. She'll put that in the pan there, and then we'll get it off in the refrigerator for it to cool so we can cut it. So we'll go ahead and get you a look at that. It's nice and creamy going in. But now she's gonna make 6 batches.
Yeah.
I think most of them are different. So what I'm gonna do is I'll skip the beginning part of each batch, and I'll bring you in and show you the parts of each batch that make that batch unique. But this is the plain. We'll get that in there, and then I'll bring you back and show you which one we're doing next, like I said, and I'll bring you in for the parts that are unique to that type of fudge. So we'll get a good look at that, and then we'll get that in the refrigerator, and we'll move on to the next batch. All right, guys, we're dropping in here on this second load of fudge. Tina's been in here singing and dancing. She won't let us catch her on film, though.
No.
But we got about a minute left, a little less than a minute, and we'll get the boil on. We're going to use the same amount of chocolate chips that we had. What are they, semi-sweet and just regular chocolate chips?
Yeah, and milk chocolate chips.
And milk chocolate chips. And then to that, the only difference between this batch and the last one is going to be about a cup and a quarter of nuts. So we're going to use walnuts in this batch. But you can get creative with your fudge if you want to throw cashews in there, or peanuts, or pecans.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can throw about any kind in there, but this is just going to be a basic walnut fudge, so we're going to use about a cup of walnuts. But here we go, we're going to shut the burner off. We're looking for that timer to go off here in about 3 seconds.
2, 1.
There you go. And once again, she's going to try to use all the heat that she had in the pan to get these chips melted, because it doesn't go back on the heat at this point. So get those chips in there quick, get it all mixed up. Then she'll get those nuts mixed into it, and I think vanilla still.
Yeah.
Does this batch have vanilla too?
Yeah.
Okay, so just like the other batch, it'll have vanilla in it too. And then we'll get the nuts put in there, and then we'll get it into this, I believe that's a 10 by 10 square pan. So we put it in a 9 by 13, what's that, 117 square inches for the other batch, and 10 by 10 is just 100 square inches. So this fudge will be a little bit thicker, but basically the same amount of space in the pans. But you got the nuts mixed in there. Go ahead and put that vanilla in. How much vanilla are you using again?
Just 1 teaspoon.
1 teaspoon of vanilla. But we'll go ahead and get that vanilla mixed in. Man, that's a big jug of vanilla. But we'll get that mixed in, and then it'll go over here in this pan, and we'll throw it in the refrigerator till it gets stiff enough to cut. So, and then we'll bring you guys back for those, but we'll show you that fudge coming out of there. Good looking stuff. And we'll bring you back in, and we'll take a look at the next batch when she gets it done. We're going to be doing 6 total batches, and this is number 2. All right, guys, I'm going to bring you back in on this 3rd batch of fudge. Once again, we're in the middle of the 5-minute timer. This is going to be our, I don't think she can stop stirring, but this is going to be our Andres mint fudge. And what she's done, we have the 2 cups of milk chocolate chips, and we've dropped the, what's the other kind of chip?
Semi-sweet.
We dropped the semi-sweet chocolate chips, and instead we're putting in a whole bag of the Andes chips, or Andres, or however you say it. Andes?
Yeah, it's a 10-ounce bag.
It's a 10-ounce bag. So we've gone ahead and replaced the chips with the bag of mint chips, and that's going to be our third batch. So probably won't stick around. We need to shorten the video up just a little bit. So what'll happen is Tina will pull this off, same as she always does. She'll pull it over there, add the chips in, stir them till they melt, add the vanilla, get it in the pan, a teaspoon of vanilla, put it in the pan, and that'll be ready to go in the fridge too. So if you missed the original recipe at the beginning of the video, you can go back and watch it, but we're just picking it up at the same point each time with each batch, and this will be our mint batch. So we'll bring you back for the next one. All right, guys, we're on batch 4, and we're still in the 5-minute timer, but we're making peanut butter fudge this time. So we got the 2 cups of milk chocolate and the 1 cup of peanut butter chips. So, and once again, we have to put the vanilla in there too. So when the timer goes off, she'll pull this off the heat, shut the burner off, add the chips, get them stirred in. She'll move them back here to her 9x13 pan. And that'll be about it for that batch. But where this is how you make the peanut butter, we're dropping the, which one do we drop? Semi-sweets or milk chocolate?
The semis.
Okay, we drop
That's just milk chocolate and peanut butter.
2 cups of milk chocolate to 1 cup of peanut butter chips. And the base was at the beginning of the video. So that's it for this one. We'll bring you back for the next one. Alright guys, we're going to cut back in here on batch number 5, and what we've got, we're going to make a cinnamon mint. Now these are you may have had these at Taco Bell. We found a place that we could order them from, but we've got them powdered up there. We're going to use both kinds of chips, and we've got a little over a cup of the powdered mints, so we're going to go kind of the same way. When the 5-minute timer's up for the boil, she'll come off the heat. We'll put in both kinds of chips and the powdered mint and a little bit of vanilla, and then we'll go over there in that 10x10 pan lined with foil over there. But that's going to be our 5th batch. It's going to be, like I said, the cinnamon mints and chocolate. So I'll bring you back when we get ready to do the last batch, and then we'll see what else we got going on here. All right, guys. We're going to cut in here on this last batch, but this is batch number 6, and we're making some, let's see, Heath Toffee. So we're in the middle of our 5-minute timer. We're letting this boil for 5 minutes. We're going to use all of the chocolate chips like the base recipe calls for. We're going to add in a little over a cup. Let's see, that's how many ounces? 8 ounces?
Yeah, I used the whole bag.
Use the whole bag. Okay, we're going to add in 8 ounces of the Bit O'Brickle Heath chips, and we'll get those stirred together and put in the pan, and then we'll get those cooled off, and we're going to add the teaspoon of vanilla too. I keep forgetting to tell you guys that, but the vanilla goes in at the end. But then what we'll do is, once we had these in the refrigerator for a little bit, I'm going to bring you back, and I'll show you how we cut the fudge, and then we should be pretty much done with it. But that's the 6 types that we've done. I won't try to name back through them because I'll screw it up. But that's all 6 types, and we'll bring you back and show you how to cut the fudge here in just a little bit. Alright guys, we've had this fudge out of the refrigerator for about an hour or so, and let it come back up to room temperature. Tina likes to let it come up to room temperature before she starts chopping on it, but we'll get right in here and take a look. It's not a real fancy process.
Not really.
But apparently we're going to cut this into fudge logs.
You gotta cut a couple of pieces.
Alright, we'll get right down in here. Actually, she's just cutting it into about 1 inch by 1 inch squares. And then we'll pack it. We've got some boxes here. Let's see, got some layers of different, she's got them labeled here what kind of fudge. It's a toffee and cinnamon. But she's got them labeled there in her little boxes, and they'll stay in there until we pack them for Christmas packages. But that's a little quick shot of cutting the fudge. So, and eating some, Tina says. All right, guys, we'll be back to talk to you, but that's pretty much the fudge making process. All right, guys, that's about going to wrap it up for the fudge today. We've got a couple of other videos we've got planned. Now, they may be a little slower coming out, but we hope they're worth the wait. We got a nice peanut brittle. I believe we're going to make peanut and cashew brittle. So that one should be coming out soon. But if you like this video here and you enjoyed watching the fudge recipes, then please give the video a thumbs up. And if you would, leave us a comment down below if you make your fudge differently, or what you add to yours, or if you have any suggestions about what we can add to ours, then leave them down below. We read all the comments and we try to respond to everybody. But if you like the content here on the channel, we hope you'll subscribe. Down next to the subscribe button is a bell. If you'll hit that bell, that'll send you a notification whenever we release a new video. And that's a great way to keep up with the channel, guys. So we appreciate you guys coming by the homestead. We enjoy sharing everything, right up to including the fudge we give out for the holidays. So y'all behave yourselves, have a Merry Christmas, and we'll catch you in the next one.